your side. This is News 12 at 6 o'clock.
New details from the courtroom today about what happened when an Augusta code enforcement officer was killed.
Officer indicating he shot me, help me.
But the defense says the suspect has an alibi. We'll tell you what came out today in court.
Plus, Governor Kemp in Augusta today talking about safety this holiday weekend, his message as you finalize your plans.
But first up this afternoon, a bad way to kick off the long holiday weekend. Traffic is backed up there beyond the Savannah River bridges toward Riverwatch Parkway on the other side of the bridge. 3 separate accidents near the state line, all going eastbound. This is a live look courtesy of EarthCam, and we're not seeing a whole lot of traffic come this way, and that's because they're coming through a lot of traffic that's backed up almost all the way to the Bobby Jones Expressway.
Richmond County Dispatch tells us there are injuries. Traffic is backed up for miles eastbound. We're also told the on and off ramps eastbound are closed. Governor Brian Kemp makes a stop in Augusta today as part of his fly around tour ahead of the Labor Day weekend, and his message, stay safe.
There are a lot of things he says you should keep in mind. Sydney Heiberger tells us it's not just the coronavirus either.
Of course, traffic on I-20 right now moving freely, but what it'll look like this Labor Day weekend is anyone's guess. AAA does say they have seen an increase in last-minute trip planning.
I'll just probably go to my dad's house, just chill, cook out on the grill, whatever.
Staying safe is my number one priority.
Well, I think we all know why. More so the pandemic.
It's comments like those that give Governor Brian Kemp a good feeling about this holiday weekend.
The good thing now is, after the first wave that we saw, I think people felt like, well, we're over it. We're not going to have that happen again. And obviously they've seen that happen, so they know what can happen.
The governor says the state's percent positive rate has recently dropped from 12.8% to 8.6%. He says the 7-day average is down almost 44%. But previous holiday weekends have shown us cases, hospitalizations, and deaths tend to spike after crowded days at the beach.
Unfortunately, over holiday weekends, many times people have let their guard down. I will say that we have come way too far and sacrificed too much to turn back now.
Meanwhile, the Georgia Department of Transportation says they don't anticipate as many cars on the road compared to last year's Labor Day, but traffic fatalities this year are still comparable to pre-COVID numbers.
Sounds like in our larger areas, the volume generally has started to tick back up closer, a little bit closer to normal.
It's a new holiday weekend, but the advice has always been the same.
Continue to wear your mask, wash your distance, wash your hands, and follow the executive order.
Meanwhile, GDOT says they are suspending all road construction and projects until Tuesday morning to prepare for the possibility of high travel. Reporting in Augusta, Sydney Heiberger, on your side.
Sydney just mentioned GDOT stopping road construction. South Carolina crews are doing the same. Those restrictions are in place until 6 o'clock Tuesday morning. So people excited about a long holiday weekend. And Riley, high school football tonight.
I know it, and we should have fantastic weather for all of that. Taking a look at that holiday weekend first, we're expecting to finally get back down to normal as far as temperatures go. And I even brought down our rain chances from thinking yesterday. Just not looking like we're going to see too much. So if you have outdoor plans Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we're expecting to stay mostly dry across the area, and those temperatures will be much more comfortable. A little bit hotter Saturday compared to the rest of the weekend. Now today we got back to 97 degrees. This was the 3rd day in a row for us, but luckily for our holiday weekend, we do finally switch it up a good bit. But any plans through this afternoon and evening, you can see plenty of bluebird skies out there. No rain in the forecast, but it is sizzling. We are still at 95 degrees. The heat index is up to 101. The wind is trying to help out a little bit, and that is thanks to a cold front actually heading our way and bringing us the relief for the weekend. But if you are heading out to those high school football games, clear skies, nice temperatures. We'll have a look at that weekend forecast once again coming up.
Riley, thanks. In the last hour and a half.
Senator Loeffler says the public-private partnership at Fort Gordon cements Augusta's role in cyber nationally. She says it's only going to grow from here.
As we mentioned, it is Friday night, and even in a pandemic, that still means high school football.
School districts have been working to make sure students are safe so they can play. Nick Proto is live for us at the Brickyard at Thompson High School, where they're getting ready for their first game of the season. Nick?
First game of the year, I'm getting excited. OFL is back, high school football is back, with some changes, of course. You can see this sign right here behind me. Face masks are required at all times. That is something we've seen a lot in the CSRA, no different here in McDuffie County at the Brickyard. You have to wear a face mask when you go in. Also, they are going to be limiting capacity, something else we've been seeing all over the place. Normally, this stadium can hold about 5,500 people. Today, just 1,500 tickets to give out. They do have them at the door, so it's not like Richmond County where you have to buy them online. You can get some here now. But if you do come to the game tonight, you'll notice one key piece missing. The Thompson Band will not be performing tonight. They weren't able to practice this past week, and so they say they're not ready. There will be no home band tonight, so that'll be different. Also, the concession stand will not be selling hamburgers and hot dogs, those foods that they'll have to make. The only things they will be selling are prepackaged things like chips and candy, bottles of water. Those will be able to be picked up there. And of course, they're encouraging social distancing, staying 6 feet apart from everybody else. It's kind of like what we've seen everywhere else in the region. But everybody I've talked to so far says it's worth it. They're just happy to have football back. I am too. I know we all are. Can't wait to get this started.
Yeah, Nick, we know you're so excited out there. Nice to see the season start back. Thanks, Nick. The state health department is now sharing data on COVID cases tied to students and staff at South Carolina schools.
Right. Today they released numbers for the first time and say there are 159 confirmed COVID-19 cases associated with South Carolina schools. Jason Raven spoke with educators and health officials about COVID-19.
Well, after a night full of rain and wind, it's a flawless day on Myrtle Beach. Beachgoers, as far as the eye can see, just soaking up the sun. About 24 hours ago, this beach was completely covered by rising tides. Now with the waters gone, vacationers returned to their spots on the sand. We spoke with some families who were in their hotel rooms last night watching the storm. They say they're glad everything turned out okay for the most part.
It's so amazing to know that it could be a hectic night with the water, the winds raging, and all of a sudden it's a peace that came across the earth, and I just thank God for it.
Now, officials are asking people to be careful when going out into the water Tuesday. They say even though Isaias is gone, there is a chance for some dangerous ground swells. On Myrtle Beach, I'm Jason Raven.
Also this evening, bond denied today for the man accused of killing an Augusta code enforcement officer. New details coming out into the courtroom today, including potential alibi for Smitty Melton.
But even so, the judge still called Melton a danger to the community. Celeste Springer walks us through the details revealed today, and here's from friends of late officer Charles Case.
The prosecution says even before August 20th, Melton had a history with code enforcement.
Including an incident several years ago where he actually attacked the officers with a shovel.
But friends of code enforcement officer Charles Chip Case say even if he knew about that, it wouldn't have stopped him from doing his job.
It does not surprise me that Chip went out there. Chip looked at it as probably a troubled person that he possibly, if he came in contact with, could get through to.
Jim Hodgson served alongside Case as platoon sergeants in Afghanistan.
You know, he took some of the heaviest casualties in Afghanistan in 2011 for his platoon, and the man made it somehow.
The defense says Melton also has a military background.
Smitty also served in the military. He served in the Navy. His father was a 20-plus year vet of the Air Force.
They claim Melton had an alibi with 2 anonymous people in Aiken. Bond was still denied. The outcome of the hearing still doesn't ease the hurt for friends of Officer Case. Friends like Jamie Blackman, who I spoke to over the phone.
Love touched in my heart. Just a very special dawn today. Just so humble. Just wouldn't do anything in the world for anybody.
We need millions more people like him in this world right now with what this world is going through. Everybody needs to get a piece of Chip and carry on.
Celeste Springer, on your side.
Also today, new details from court in another high-profile case. This is Kalen Smith, accused of assaulting an officer during driving off during a traffic stop. A Richmond County deputy injured. He was denied bond today. District Attorney Natalie Payne said details exactly what happened when Smith drove away.
When he took off on the vehicle, Deputy Inman was actually trapped between the door and the car. It essentially drug Deputy Inman all the way through the raceway parking lot, up the embankment.
Payne Lorraine says the Deputy Inman did hit a concrete traffic pole and was thrown from the car. She also details his significant injuries. We're talking about facial fractures, a lacerated liver, broken ribs. She says he is in the hospital sedated right now. Officials tell us Deputy Inman's condition is critical, but he is expected to survive. A big jump in COVID